This is an interesting LeetCode challenge. It's called Destination City. This is LeetCode 1436. So we have an array called paths, and it's a 2D array. So we have different cities. So one city can take us to another city, and it keeps going until we have a final destination. Our tasks in this LeetCode challenge is to return the destination city, that is, the city without any path outgoing to another city. It is guaranteed that the graph for the different paths form a line without any loop, meaning there will be exactly one destination city. You will not return and loop over and over again. Example, you start from London, it can take you to New York. Then from New York, you can go to Lima, and from Lima, you can go to Sao Paulo. So here, Sao Paulo is the destination, the final destination. And they explain here the same thing. You start from London, you go to Sao Paulo, and you pass through New York and Lima. Here, they are not using city names. They are rather using alphabet letters. So B can take you to C, D takes you to B, and C takes you to A. So this means that if B takes you to C, but D is taking you to B, then D is the initial city. So you go from D to B, and then C, and then A. So they have the same thing here. Or you can also start from B if you want, and you can go to C and then to A without passing through D. And then here you can also do C to A, or you can simply have A on its own, just like that. But A is always the destination. And then here from A to Z, you start from A, the destination by default is Z. So this is my solution in C++. I'm not going to have a graph. So I'm not going to have a tree with nodes and so on. Instead, I'm going to use the map approach. If you use a different programming language, you might think of it as a hash map. So here I have an unordered map. It's a map where the keys are strings and the values are also strings. The final destination, which I'm going to return, is a string that I'm also calling destination. So at first, I want to record all this information that I have in the map. For example, London will be a key, and the value for that key will be New York. Then New York will also be a key, and the value for that key is going to be Lima. Then here we have Lima as a key, and the value for that key is going to be Sao Paulo. So notice here that Sao Paulo will not be a key inside of the map. So that's how we're going to know that Sao Paulo is a destination and not an intermediate city. So here in the map, this is where I register the key and the values. So once I've stored all the city combinations according to the data from this vector, which is the input, then I can assume that the very first city here, for example, London or A here, I will assume that this is the first city from which I travel. And then if I found something, meaning that the map wasn't empty, for example, then IT will not be equal to the end of the map. And therefore, I'm going to grab the value for that key. So for example, if London is a source city, then the value will be New York. I'm going to grab New York here, store it in my variable called destination. And then here, I'm going to query the destination in my map. Meaning that here I'm going to pass New York and try to find New York as a key in the map. So at this point, IT here will now be equal to the position in the map where I have this key value pair, New York as the key and Lima as the value. This condition will be true again because IT, the iterator, will not point to the end of the map, and therefore I'm going to grab here Lima as the value, and then I'm going to query that value inside of my map. After I am done with the find function, I will be here where Lima will be the key and Sao Paulo will be the value. So here in the next iteration, when destination is equal to Sao Paulo, when I try to find Sao Paulo as a key, I'm not going to be able to find it, meaning that IT here will be equal to m.end. So this while loop will terminate and I can return the destination, which is Sao Paulo. So that's how this algorithm works. I hope it's clear to you. I'm going to run the test cases. We should be able to pass all of them. So we have test case 1, we return Sao Paulo. Then in case 2, we return the letter A. And for test case 3, we return the letter Z. So now let's submit this solution. And we've passed everything without any issue. So that's my solution. the LeetCode solution for destination city. If you like my tutorials, you like my videos and my channel, please subscribe and I'll catch you next time.